welcome to Caching in the Northwest. I know that I know this is the official podcast of Geo Woodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Each week, we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're out grabbing Kraken merch, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
The Kraken, yes. I'm glad the name is finally out, but I was secretly pulling for the Seattle Bodie McBoatfaces. Thought that'd be great.
If it was open on the internet, that's probably
true.
what it would be called.
Yeah. Hey, but at any rate, that means it's time to bring in our cracked capuchin. Some say he can hold his breath long enough to swim down to the Marianas Trench. And others say the Kraken releases him. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
I don't think we want to talk about what the Kraken releases tonight. That's, maybe we'll just move on from that one. As per usual, about 1 minute into the podcast, I derail everything. That's my job. That's why they pay me. Big bucks to be here. All right.
Wait a minute. Getting paid for this?
Shh. Let me live my little fantasy here.
Okay.
All right. Hey, tonight we are going to, well, first of all, does anybody know what episode this is?
It's tonight's.
Jesse knows. Jesse, what episode is it?
Oh, I know. Number 365.
So because it's episode 300.
Congratulations, by the way. That's pretty great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jesse. So Jesse, because it's episode 365, what should we talk about tonight?
Well, I'm thinking calendar-related challenges.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was going to talk about something totally different, but let's talk about that instead. I think that's
a
way better
I'm
idea.
inspired. There's just something about that number that feels like talking about a year-long challenge. Just it feels right.
All right. Well, then there you have it, folks. JT Coffee has decided that tonight we're going to talk about calendar challenges and such related geocaching for episode 365. And I couldn't ask for a better guest to have for that episode than you, JT Coffee. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
It's always our pleasure. You are just so much fun to have as a guest. So much energy and enthusiasm and your experience in these related areas. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what else is a lot of fun? Anybody? Anyone?
Land sharks?
Land sharks. Land sharks are a lot of fun. Absolutely. In fact, all of our patrons are a lot of fun. I got to say, I love our patrons. And a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep the podcast coming in each and every week. And including a thanks to Land Sharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. Folks, have you been missing the geocaching achievement coins? Yeah, have you? Well, I'll tell you what. Land Sharks is your source for the new milestone geocoin and tag sets from Geocaching HQ. So go online, check them out. Decide if you want to get one of those for yourself or for a friend who has a milestone coming up. And hey, if you want to know more about supporting the show, click that Patreon link over on the cachingnw.com, a website.
How very nice. I want to say 500 and 1,000. So I need to get some more of those coins, right? Because I'm beyond that count now by 2. Anyway, 2 caches beyond that. But
there you go.
I appreciate good logs, don't you? So
Absolutely.
much so that we decided to do a segment called The Glow. That's the geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a field recording to feedback@cachingnw.com. You can call into 253-693-TFPC, or you can even use the voicemail tool on the website and show us how you glow.
Well, you know who's glowing this week while they're baking probably at home? I am. Sent this in via email and said it's for a log for GC8W2TB. It's not a travel bug. It's a cache there, TB. Nice short log. It says, "Happy birthday to me. I got the smiley." Monkey Cakes and I saw this one post this morning and wanted to wait and give Peach and Pete a chance. So we ran a couple errands, saw that it had been logged, and then we went for it. Took a couple of minutes at ground zero to find the container and get our names in the log. But the fun thing is that we found the previous Prying Pandora cache at this spot exactly 15 years ago to the day. July 4th, 2005, and this one is July 4th, 2020.
Wow.
So thank you to the CO for a well-placed cache honoring some folks that really deserve recognition and remembrance.
Very cool. Sounds like it must have been a tribute cache.
It
Yeah.
must have been. Talk about refreshing the game board. Every 15 years, you need to go out and change your caches.
Or
Okay.
maybe
You can put it
sooner.
in the exact same spot. That's okay.
That's easy to remember. That's how often I shower.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
funny guys. All right.
Oh, hey, folks, if you want to join in tonight's chat, use the hashtag 365. You don't have to spell it out. You can use the numbers. But if you want to spell it out, you can do that too. 365. Just like you're writing a check. Anybody know what those are anymore?
I'm wondering why you're writing a check for 365.
I don't.
I was waiting for something.
Oh,
No, I got
I need to drop.
bump.
There you go.
Or you can use hashtag to pass to bring up a topic for the after show.
That's probably a better idea.
That probably is.
But we know that Jesse's gonna get right into these 365 challenges here, and as she brings stuff up, as you guys always do, you awesome people in the chat, in the live chat, use that hashtag 365. Drop in your thoughts, ideas, experiences, and we'll try and roll those in. Our chat lackey is attentively watching in the background, keeping on top of everything, so he'll make sure. No, sorry, he said he's not attentively watching any. He's probably playing Civ again. So
He's
see if you
waiting
can.
for his 365 check.
There you go. Well, he's gonna be
That's
waiting a really long time.
yeah.
Okay.
He might also be drooling at the chat with the cheesecake. I see chili verde. I see hibiscus brownies, lasagna, ice cream. There's all kind of great stuff. Oh, and pizza.
Hashtag
So,
podcast baking.
wow.
yeah. So now I'm hungry.
That has become an unofficial hashtag of this show now. Hashtag podcast baking just seems to be a thing now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's so funny to me. It's the virtual potluck is what this has become.
Ooh.
Love it.
And no calories that way, right?
Well, I brought my
right.
beer, so
Well,
yeah.
at least for us. All right. Well, enough about the baking and the glowing and all that. Let's just jump right into our guest. And as you mentioned, as you introduced already, JTcoffee, we're so glad that you're back with us tonight. But maybe if there's somebody that hasn't joined us before, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. I am JTcoffee. I've been caching for nearly 10 years. It occurred to me. In February, it'll be 10 years. So 9.5, I suppose. And I started caching in Michigan on a very snowy February day where we had to dig out a bench from snow to find the cords for the second waypoint. And after that, I was hooked. And I geocache really as often as I possibly can. And I'm really inspired by challenge caches. Those are really motivating for me. And I really like to get in the weeds of the different little bits and challenge qualifiers. And, ooh, this cache qualifies for 2. Ooh, this cache qualifies for 6 challenges. And that kind of stuff really gets me geeked out. So that's what I spend my evenings filling my notebooks of all my caching lists that I need to do.
Nice.
cool.
Now,
So that's me.
since this is show 365, have you done, say, a calendar 365 streak?
Yeah, I have. And that's an important distinction because a streak is when you're caching each day, every day in a row, and the year applies. And I've done a 3-year streak, which was crazy, but so much fun. and I finally just had to cut it off because I thought if I don't pick a day, I'm just going to do it forever, and I don't have capacity for that. But I did do a 3-year streak where I cashed every single day for 3 years. But when you're doing a calendar challenge, that is basically filling up a calendar grid where the year doesn't matter. It's just on a July 23rd, I have found a cache. It doesn't matter if it's the 23rd of this year, the 23rd last year. You're just filling in that grid. And you can do it all kinds of ways. You can do a general one with a found by date of I have found something on every calendar day over the time that I have been geocaching. Or you can start to get a little bit specific. And like I said, I do love getting a little bit specific. So I have done a traditional calendar challenge. I have done my micro calendar challenge. I've done my puzzle cache calendar challenge. I'm working on my multi calendar and my regular calendar and my small calendar and my other calendar.
You have a
And
Where I Go.
I'm really close to finishing up some of those. Oh gosh, a Where I Go calendar. We'll need more of those. Somebody's got to place more on the letterbox calendar. If someone wants to place those, go for it.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, are there any tools you use to keep track of these, or just are you making lists in your notebooks?
The legendary
Both.
notebook.
The legendary notebooks. Yeah.
It's right here. At least this year's is right here. The Project GC is my go-to tool for this. There is an option called the needed found dates, and it will show you which dates you need to find something. And then if you subscribe to Project GC, you can then tell it to get more specific. Tell me the days that I need to find a large. Tell me the days I need to find a multi. Tell me the days I need to find, insert whatever one that you're working on. And then through Project GC, you can either print that out and put it in your handy dandy notebook. You can export it to your Google Calendar so that it happily reminds you. I have it set up so that it reminds me with an email each evening about the next day of what I need. And then it shows up just happily on my phone every morning. Oh, look, you need a regular today. And then I don't forget.
Time to get going.
Yeah. Way to start a healthy breakfast. Have my multi-cache and my coffee, and off we go. So that's calendars. You have a lot of calendars and a lot of lists. But you also mentioned in there streaking and the distinction between them. So if somebody wanted to do a 30-day streak or a 60-day 365, you said 3 years, that's got to be 1,000 days plus in there. Do you have any tips for completing and figuring out how would I go about getting a streak going like that?
It sounds a little daunting, and it can be because life happens, there's all kinds of things out of your control that just come out of nowhere.
I've noticed that.
So I find that, yeah, this year is really a testament to that. I find planning ahead and preparing, just like if you were going to, leave no trace, it's the same principle. So for me, the toughest part of being on a streak, or rather the nights I thought I might run into trouble and miss that day, was when I hadn't planned anything out. I had finished work for the day and I'm like, I still need my cash and I have no idea where I'm going or how far I'm going to go or what I need to do. And so I would make a weekly list. Okay, Monday I have a late meeting, so I don't have a lot of time, so I'll get this one, and so on and so on. And I would just do that every Sunday so that I'd be prepared for the week. And then if there was something really important that I needed to get, like on the calendar challenge, if you miss a day, you have to wait an entire year until it comes back around again. So that was a top priority for me. So then I identify my backups. So if I have a multi that I definitely need, I'll pick two, or maybe I'll pick a multi that has another one nearby it. I'll go for the tougher one. So if for some reason it doesn't work out, I have that backup right there. There certainly have been days when I'm at my third GZ of the day, the third ground zero of the day, because the other two I couldn't find for whatever reason, and it's getting later and later and rainier and darker, and I still need to find something. And that situation is harder if you don't know where you're going. But if you're just moving through your backup list, it's a lot less stressful.
I've had similar moments when I was doing my caching streak. I got up to 555 days, and that was more than enough at that point. I was like, okay, it's a nice, cool number. I'm done. But there was a couple of nights, especially in the Pacific Northwest winters, when you don't got a lot of daylight and you do got a lot of rain and a lot of squishy places that you need to go looking for caches. And I was really pleased with myself that I had done exactly that, Jesse. I had a primary cache, a backup cache. I had one situation where it was getting close to midnight. I had already had 3 DNFs, and I'm like, gotta get something.
Yeah.
Well, and I think a tip would be is if the perfect time to start a streak is if you're moving.
Yeah.
Especially to a new state, someplace you've never cached before. Because if I tried to start a streak around my house, I'd have some distance to cover. Monkey Cake said, don't start a streak if you've already cached out most of the area. So,
Forest Coast,
and you have to when you're on a streak, because if you are trying to clear out the area, a certain area, or even going for FTFs, because it's just so close to home, it's best to save that for those days where it's nearly midnight and you've already missed 4 of them, and you know that there's that one that's in that guardrail right by your house, just as an emergency backup.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Cache Canada asks, Jesse, what tab on Project GC is the needed found date? Do you happen to recall? Or is anybody able to look that up? Maybe our research department online can look that up. Unless Jesse has one.
Great question.
All right, Jesse's going to look that up. And while she's doing that, we also heard from CRS98, who said...
was feeling windows.
What's that? Sorry, we're getting some lag from you, Jesse. I'll be quiet for a moment. Oh, you still there, Jesse?
Right.
We learned
last day what tab is that needed found dates on in Project GC, and then it magically...
Oh, Wet Coaster put it in the chat here.
Okay, great. Thank you, Wet Coaster. So
it is Thursday night, and we have slowed down the internet.
We have. We've destroyed Jesse's internet. That's not how it's supposed to work. Oh, now you're back. All right.
Wow.
She can no longer do internet search.
There we go. Ooh, yeah, no, I can only do one thing, and that is show my face here. This is what happens when you open another tab.
We'll take it.
The most important thing for us is your face and your voice. So let's just keep that going.
Whew, yeah, it is we'll get there. We'll get there. I have confidence that our community will help us out and find where that is. It's on the rightmost one where you would be clicking to find out that I think it's tools. It's got to be tools. Oh, look.
Yeah, Wet Coaster grabbed
They came through.
Yeah. The research department always comes through. That's one of the great things about our live audio.
Magic.
Right. Indeed. So we also had from CRS98, where was that? Hashtag 365. He's got 51 multis, 16 regular, 1 micro, and 1 small left to finish all those challenges. So, wow. Way to go, CRS98. That is cool. It's getting close to quite a few there. Right on.
I have 11 multis left. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you
your spouses must be understanding about you coming home late for a cache.
There you go.
Street.
He knows. If I'm just not home, he'll text me, "Are you home for dinner?" And I'm like, "No." Just no.
Okay.
Fair enough. And how particular are you on your multis? Do you have to find all of those stages on that same day, or do you do all of the stages up until the final and then find the final on the date?
That's a really good question. Turning a multi into a traditional, and I want to point out it is not a pre-find. Pre-finding when you go and find a cache and you hold it in your hand and then you put it back and then you come back another day or you claim it a different day. Turning a multi into a traditional, when you do all the stages and you have the final coordinates, similar to solving a puzzle, and then on a day that you need when you go there, I definitely do that. I have
Okay.
a whole list of just, solved multis, just like I would consider a solved puzzle, because maybe there are multiple multis on a hike and you happen to be going by the rock or the tree or the sign or whatever it is that you need. And so you just save up that information. That can really help on really busy days.
There you go. Hey, there's one more. He didn't put the hashtag 365, so we almost missed it. But Start Cacher shares 2 years ago, Start Cacher completed a traditional calendar. Last month, he completed a non-traditional calendar. He's now working on a mystery calendar with 91 days left and an event calendar with 196 days left, and also uses GSAC to track this. So very good. Congratulations, Start Cacher. Those are some serious
achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while probably for the event one, sadly.
The event's going to be a tough one this year.
This year for sure.
No
Hey,
kidding.
well, speaking of accomplishments, a calendar related caching challenge that people are often it's a very popular one that a lot of people are seeking after completing is the elusive and famous Jasmer. So Jesse, any thoughts about the Jasmer challenge?
Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun. It is such a rewarding, satisfying challenge to complete. I finished my first loop a few years ago, in 2018, with a trip to Michigan, because there is one elusive month. There are only 4 caches on the planet that have that placed by date. And just to back up, in case you're new to the Jasmer challenge, that is finding a cache placed in every month that geocaching has existed. So finding a cache in May that was placed in May of 2000, June of 2000, July, so on and so on and so on and so on. So if you do it, it is something you need to kind of keep current, because as we progress through the months, more caches get placed. But it certainly is harder, those older ones, because those aren't the ones that are just around the corner.
Right.
So there is some traveling plan that is required for the Jasmer challenge for sure. And I did do my first loop, and I'm just a few away from my second loop. I hope to finish that up with a trip to Utah here pretty soon to get Potter's Pond one of these days.
Nice. That one, I mean, it's pretty famous just because of its age, but it's also a really neat place to visit. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed our visit there.
Yeah, unlike Mingo, which is historic and all important, all that, but kind of let down by the cache itself. But I bring that up because I was there and found Mingo 1 year ago today.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Just
wow.
Happy
So you know.
Mingo-versary for
Yeah, I looked at my
Mingo.
calendar and went, oh, Google Photos is like 3 years ago in this state or 2, whatever. And I said, oh, look at that. A year ago, I was in Kansas. So
You're not in Kansas anymore.
you. No.
I'm not at all.
And happy I think so, that you're not in Kansas. Hey, we are getting some great
Well played.
hashtag 365 comments in the chat. We're going to try to get them all in, but there's a bunch of them. Let's see. Let's start with Neltra, who says, I started my streak after 6 years of caching. Today is day 956.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
That's
Coming up
impressive.
on 3 years there. Well, that's probably beyond 3
Yeah.
years. No?
Not quite.
3 years is
Not quite.
1,095.
There you go.
Mhm.
Still, that's a lot.
Land
That
Sharks
is a
finally
lot.
completed their calendar in December 29. I'm
Oh.
thinking that's
Nice.
not 2029.
Very
I
nice.
think that's actually December 29th.
They're planning ahead.
Wet Coaster says, I'm trying to complete a calendar find with only finds in Canada.
Ah, it's an
Very
interesting
nice.
variation on the theme. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
MC3 Cats says, I guess I need to put out 365 Where I Go caches so cashers can get their calendar challenges.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
if
you do.
could get on
Get
that,
on it. Yeah,
preferably in North Seattle, that would be super.
just saying. Yeah.
You know, if you had to put them
We've got-
somewhere.
Exactly. There are some great trails. I mean, the Burke-Gilman, the Inner Urban. I see no problem.
Of course not.
Oh,
What else do we have? Oh, Boomer 365 had the last day he did not find a cache was May 1st, 2015.
Wow.
So so our chat lackey did the math. That's 1,910 days for Boomer.
Holy
365.
smokes.
That's crazy. Speaking of Jasmer, our friends Cache Canada over in Ontario there have shared that they are heading to Utah to get their third Jasmer. That is crazy, you guys.
That's great.
Wow.
well, you can only do it 4 times.
Mhm.
Current.
That's pretty impressive. Working on your third one.
And I Ham and Monkey Cakes went to Potter's Pond. Was it a year ago? Maybe
That was-
2
yeah,
years ago?
fairly recently, yeah.
Oh, here you go. GSM times 2 says MC3 Cat should place 1 Where I Go per day for 300.
Yeah.
See?
That would
There, now you're filling out all
And then
sorts-
everybody wins, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Think of the FTF hounds. They'd be thrilled.
Oh, that's
I've
some
got a Where I Go FTF every day for a year.
Every day for a year.
That's
Wow.
fantastic. Yeah, and he's on it.
He's on it. Okay.
Okay.
There you go, Jesse. He promised.
Excellent. We have documentation.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, so Jesse, as you're looking for maybe these older caches to fill out the Jasmer, there are also other challenges that maybe are not as daunting as the Jasmer. In that maybe you're looking for the oldest in a state or a county or even a country.
Mhm.
How do you go about doing something like that? I know a lot of people that, as I'm traveling, I got to make sure I get the oldest cache in this state because, it's part of a
Yeah.
challenge. I'm working on. Okay.
Yeah, there are challenges out there of finding those. Plus, I really find because I'm also one of those people that when I travel to a state, if I can, I try to get the oldest in the area or the oldest in the state or something like that, because I find, generally speaking, that if a cache has lasted that long, it's in a really good place, or it's a really good hike, or there's an interesting piece. With Mingo maybe is the exception, but in general, it is really it's real. I really enjoy finding the oldest one because normally I'm led to a really neat place. I have 10 states. There's a page in my notebook. 10 states, so I'm 20% there to get the oldest in each state. But there are, I know some people, as I read online with different challenges that people are working on, some people are trying to find the oldest county in their state. I set out to find the oldest of each type in our state. And there's not a challenge cache associated with that. It's just something that I wanted to try to do for myself. So finding the oldest traditional, the oldest puzzle, the oldest multi, so on and so on and so on. And I'm within 2 trips of finishing up that one. So that'd be pretty cool.
Very
Wow.
cool.
You say there's no challenge for it. I say not yet.
There you
Because
go.
now somebody will
Not
go
yet.
out and place that.
I'm not sure if it's permissible, but who knows?
Somebody will bend the rules somewhere, right?
You never know.
Not that we're condoning that. I'm just saying it might happen.
Oh, no.
Not that we have a reviewer who might be listening in.
No.
No.
I don't-
Nobody important listens to this show. That's all right. We're good. Um,
Should we talk about Team Noltex? There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're about 6 away from Jasmer number 4. But one of them is not an August 2000. We already have all 4 of those.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, that's the tricky month. That's the one that only has the 4. Nice. Way to go, Team Noltex.
Yeah, I remember when they were planning the trip to Norway, I think, to complete one of those. Is that one of the
Sweden?
ones, I think? Sweden?
Sweden,
I
yeah.
don't know. One of those places
Up
I've never
there.
been. Yeah.
One of those Nordic countries.
Yeah.
There you go.
One of those things, one of those places you got to get into an airplane to get to.
Yeah, one of those places I'd love to go someday, but probably never will. Cache Canada is also working on Earth Cache Fizzy. That just made Land Monkey's eyes
Very
light up.
nice.
Yeah.
4
there-
more Earth Caches from Quebec will give us 75 squares toward 81 of an Earth Cache Fizzy.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive. So we've been mostly, and we're kind of focusing on calendar-related caches tonight. Obviously, Fizzy is a bit of a different type of
It
challenge.
is, yeah.
But good news for those who want to talk about other types of challenge caches. 2 weeks from 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know, coming up soon. We've got another guest coming on who's going to talk about challenge caches, and a guest who literally wrote the book on challenge caches. Jesse Lunford, Memphis Mafia, is going to be joining us, and we're going to talk about challenge caches again. So
Fantastic. Well, that was a teaser there.
that was
Nice.
Earth Cache Fizzy. So
yeah,
So we challenge you to
He's so
listen.
nice. That'll be so great.
that'll be fun. All right. Well, this has been fun as well. And Jesse, if there's any maybe parting advice that you have for folks who are thinking about working on a calendar-based challenge
Of some sort.
of some sort, of any sort, what would be maybe like top couple of tips that you would give people?
Yeah. Now, when I set out on a calendar challenge, I never set the goal for completing within a year. I always set it to be completed by the next year. So we've been talking a lot all about these these calendar challenges as if you complete them in that one space of time. The nice thing is, even though it will take some time, even if maybe you only ever go caching on a Saturday, all the days will roll around through a Saturday eventually, and so you'll fill your calendar challenge at some point. So for me, I started out on my multi-calendar last year, and I decided by the end of 2020 I would have figured it out. So then my first year is do the best you can, help out your future self, and then by the time it hits 2020, you've got fewer days, but they're more important, so to speak, because then you have to wait the full year for it to come around. That's why I have some very, very sporadic random days. I have one day in September and one day in October that I have to get for this year. But the nice thing about a calendar challenge is that it can be much less stressful than a streak challenge, because if you break it, it'll come around again the next year. No big deal. And it doesn't ever show you on any sort of statistical logging mechanism how long it took you to take care of it. Your calendar grid will be filled in no matter what. So I think it's a really helpful tip, that you don't have to fill it in within one calendar year, even though it feels like you do. And then getting reminders has really been helpful for those, because if you're streaking, it gets in a rhythm, right? You just wake up, like you said, get your coffee, your multi-cache, and you're on your way. And sometimes that can be really helpful, and it gets it to be part of your rhythm, so you don't even have to think about it. That's how I got through my 3-year streak. Really, was that it was just part of the day. But when it starts to get, these days get pretty spread out. Setting up those little reminders, my calendar reminder, my email reminder, just so that when September 6th comes along, I don't miss it by accident because I get busy doing something else, or I forget, or something like that. So use the tools that you have around you, and whatever that is. You can print off in my handy dandy notebook. For those of us watching visually, you can print out little little years like this and make yourself these little charts for, oh, there we go. Look at that. And I just have this in my bag with me all the time, so I can mark down the days that I need and then how many per month that I need, and that way, in case my phone dies or there's a calendar glitch or something like that, I have a paper backup copy so that I don't miss a day.
Nice. And
Because
Jesse, those who are watching the show can just scroll back a little bit, do a screen cap, and now they know what days they need to put multis on to help you out.
Yeah.
that's right. Whew. 11 more days. Tomorrow's one of them. Whew.
Oh, there you go. Well, hope that works out. Hey, there was another,
Yeah, well-
IHAM had a really great point here, Jesse, I'll get you to talk to.
Yeah.
He asked if you could speak to the importance of leap day.
Just take it off as a vacation day. Just never work on leap day.
Cashiers should never
that's
work
tough,
leap
you know,
day.
and a lot of challenges. No, you should just have a busy day. That's a type of challenge, and where you get a little of everything. And this last leap day, I tried to get one of every type and size and just every flavor I could possibly think of, just so that I could check that box, literally and metaphorically. But a lot of challenges don't require getting one on leap day because they're so seldom. And like, I just put out a challenge near me for your traditional calendar, filling in your traditional calendar, and leap day is an excluded day. You can skip that day and still achieve the challenge, no problem.
Nice. You know, I've always enjoyed leap day just because it's an anomaly that comes around every so often. But once you were into geocaching, you realize it's a holiday. I mean, this is a major milestone every 4 years. You've got to go out and do things. And Project GC has added badges
Yes.
that will show that, hey, you found a multi, you found a, traditional, you found all these on Leap Day. And Leap Day now has become this huge drive in geocaching that I don't think it was before. It's kind of become the national geocaching holiday.
It really fired up this year, because I think this year was the year that Project GC with Badge Gen released all those special add-ons or bolt-ons or whatever you call them for the 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jesse, how much of
boy, are those motivating.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, how much of a motivator are those is Badge Gen for you earning those badges?
If I remember to look at them, because I call myself out on how nutty I can be sometimes on all these sorts of things, and so sometimes I just have to shelve it and be like, that's just you have a full notebook of other things that you're working on, like, don't worry about that. But then I find it and I'm like, oh, I'm just 0.2 points away from another little jewel. If I just take 5 more pictures, I can and so yeah, there are definitely times when I focus on it, and then I try to get my focus into something else very quickly. Otherwise, I have got too many balls going at once.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense. But yeah, I find that those the Badge Gen badges are strangely motivating. I would not have thought that those would motivate me as much as they do, but I don't know.
I mean, look at how hard we work for souvenirs.
Yeah,
souvenirs are the same way. They're just they're digital art, but yet we go to great lengths. My first Leap Day, we were in Michigan, and we were trudging through, again, February in Michigan. We were trudging through this forest that it had been flooded out, and I had these boots on, and my friend didn't have any boots on, so he was back there, and I'm trudging through, and I'm shouting back at him, I hate this, and he shouted back, I know, but it's critical that you find it. And we walked back, and like, this is one of the, and it's just pouring, and we're like, we never would have been doing this if it wasn't absolutely critical that we find something on this Leap Day.
Too funny. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what's up,
We've
Chris?
got some great feedback. I just want to run through a couple if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Wet Coaster says, according to Project GC, the longest streak is by Dr. J at 4,928 days.
Oh my goodness.
That's like a
Holy
lifetime.
moly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
CRS 98 has used the traffic reductions due to COVID-19 to help grab needed caches. So hashtag silver linings.
There you go.
You know, if you need to grab a cache, say in downtown Seattle, it's actually pretty easy right now.
Is it
Yeah.
still light traffic?
Yeah.
It's picking up, but it's not as
picking
bad as it used to be.
Yeah. I mean,
But
you can easily find a parking spot and, get over and get one. So
by the way, that's over 13 years, that 4,900 day streak.
That's crazy.
he also says, White Coaster also says Leap Day is made for an all icon day,
Yeah.
meaning finding all the available icon types.
Yeah.
That's your busy day challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah, leap year wasn't a big deal for me until this year.
Ah,
Says GSM times 2.
Yep.
I think we're caught up with that.
all right. Well, this has been fun, informative as always, and a lot of fun. We're gonna remember, guys. We've got the after show coming, so we'll roll into there and we'll talk about a whole lot of the stuff here that we didn't maybe get to during the show. And we definitely look forward to recapping and talking about more challenge cache stuff that maybe won't be the calendar based, but all the other variations of challenge caching in a couple of weeks. So definitely tune in for that show. But you guys in the chat, stick with us. We're going to swing into the after show after we do our wrap up here. Jesse, hopefully you can stay around and join us for the after show. Awesome.
You got
Got
it.
the
Wouldn't
thumbs
miss it.
up. All right. Awesome. We're looking forward to that. And we hope everybody's really enjoyed the show. We, of course, as always, at the end, we want to take a moment to thank Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. They ship online orders daily, and the brick and mortar is back open again. So, follow the COVID rules and go and have a visit. And check out that cool cache in front of the store as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All
Hard
right.
for the Americans to get to the brick and mortar store, but you can still order online, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, we also want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks, JP's Geo Designs, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cashly. Folks, if you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link over on the cachingandw.com, a website.
Kid Vegas 19 did it.
And Highlands Guy,
And GeoNav Pros did it.
Log Work.
Dune Buddy,
Sege Hove did it. That's what I've heard.
Fairwood West has done it.
Kev MacD,
MC3 Cats,
T. Sayer.
Kennel Barb,
Seebeck Tribe,
Limax.
B Pendragon,
Millie Robson,
Subway Mark.
Sprouter,
Tick Magnet.
M Nerf,
Team Noltex,
Hey, what about Cashly?
GSM times 2.
Wino Seattle. Hope the baby's sleeping well tonight.
We'll keep it quiet for the baby when we mention the Geo Travelers.
And Boomer 365 woke that baby right up.
Al Robrick,
Broncos fan for life.
And Teus,
Trexer Zero,
Wet Coaster.
Hacker Duck,
On a Boat,
The Camp Clan.
Duramore,
LG 9000,
Genies.
CRS 98,
Keats 94, Fiddling Away in the Woods.
And Green Words.
well, thanks to all of them. And thanks, of course, to JT Coffee for joining us tonight. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you and ask you for advice on notebooks or streaks or calendars or anything, do you have a preferred contact method?
I'm all ears in all kinds of ways. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and at Jessie, which is at JESS_SEA, like the C. And then on and JT Coffee is my caching handle, and you can reach out to me on Messenger anytime.
Awesome. Except when geocaching shuts it down for all the spam.
Yeah.
But that's only happened
Except
once.
for them.
Yeah.
Well, and hey, folks, if you want to find out more about the host of this show, well, we are really out there. So come find us and maybe bring us home, bake us something nice, a little cheesecake.
Oh, hey guys. We sure appreciate you taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. You can call in to 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or send us Kraken merch any time of the day or night. It just doesn't sound right to say that out loud. Kraken merch.
Kraken merch.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Kraken merch.
I had all this merch, and then
Kraken merch. You can send us email, even about what you think of the name the Kraken, at feedback@cashingnw.com. Your support helps keep quality shows coming. If you like the show, please click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Gives us a thumbs up or a review. This show is produced by Chris Umpenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2020 by Chris Umpenauer. And folks, you know what it's time for. I don't even need to say it. But I'm going to do it anyway.
The after show.
Oh,
gets me every time. Just
Every time.
MC3 Cats has ordered his Kraken merch.
All right.
Way to
UDOT
go.
wants to know, does Jesse use a Write in the Rain notebook? And Jesse, do you know what I was thinking? You should open up an Etsy store with your notebooks. You
This is a
could
good
sell
idea.
them to all the geocachers.
This is a great idea.
Mhm.
I do use Right in the Rain sometimes, seasonally. If I'm out, I have some in my bag. Right now, the ones I'm using are called, this is not the right example because it's embossed, but it's called Field Notes. That's the company, and they're out of Chicago. And they make all kinds of really cool notebooks. The one I have in my car is like a hard surface so that you can, it's practically attached to a clipboard already. They have different sizes. They have road trip themed ones. They have national park themed ones. They have a D&D themed one. Like, they do all kinds of really cool stuff. And this one was a tree themed one, which is how I got into my geocaching goals of 2020 notebook.
That's awesome. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the name of the company again?
Field Notes.
Field Notes. There you go.
Field Notes. Mm-hmm.
To check that out. All right.
Yeah.
We should see if we can get those guys on the show. They should sponsor us. That's what I say.
Totally agree.
Hey, Field Notes.
Better than
We know you're
better
listening.
than Kraken merch.
That's right. I'm not so interested in the Kraken merch. Although I got to say, the logo is pretty slick. Especially with the animated version of the logo.
Line sharks sipping a Kraken.
Yes.
Oh,
that
that's my
tentacle
preferred
as it,
Kraken.
curled up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The alternate logo is pretty cool too. It's an anchor with a space needle at the top.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
There you go. Some smart people in the marketing department.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Since we are officially in,
The after show.
is it echoey in here? Got a little feedback or something there. Let's see. Did we say that GSM times 2 is going to complete 2 milestones this weekend? Busy and 24,000 milestone.
Well, we've said it now. So
Yeah.
pre-congrats,
Nice.
and you'll get a real congrats if you call it in.
Yeah.
You should call in to 253-693-TFTC. I'll say it again, just in case you're traveling and you didn't hear it right. 253-693-TFTC. I'll mention it 72 more times throughout this podcast.
Nice.
Sorry, I've been watching infomercials. And let's see. Boomer 365 is sorry for waking up the baby. Hey, we had Boomer on this show. Now I see it. Boomer 365 on episode 365.
Hmm.
Ah, yeah.
Sorry, Boomer. Just saw it now.
There
Well, thanks for participating in the
it's not
chat
like we
anyway.
don't say his name every week, but somehow
you go. There you
didn't
go.
click. UDAC wants to know, has anybody seen the Neowise comet?
Lots of people have, yes.
Yeah, there's a few. I've actually tried a few nights, and just for whatever reason, every night that I have the opportunity to look, there's something obstructing the view. So
Mm-hmm.
I
So
haven't tried hard enough, I guess, really is the bottom line.
there you go. So 2 nights ago, my dad and I walked down the street. We decided we're going to see this thing. We walk down the street. We find the Big Dipper. No luck. Can't see. Okay. And then last night, we're like, okay, we're really going to go see this. So, at 9:30 when the sun sets, we're all going to get in the car. We're going to drive down to the water because all the pictures I've seen of the comet are over water because it's very low on the horizon. And then we get out at 9:30. I'm looking and going, it's pretty cloudy. Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong. We'll go for a drive anyway. It's just a couple of miles away. We go down to the water. No, it's too cloudy. We can't see anything. Well, let's try one more spot over by the bridge. And we drive up there, and we can start to see the clouds are breaking up. We can see a couple of stars, but we can't make out the comet. Oh well, we tried. I know our time's running out. I really want to see this thing. So we come back home, and I'm not ready to give up. I'm stubborn. I walk out in my backyard, and I turn and I look up and I go, well, there's the Big Dipper. I grab the binoculars, which we had with us in the car, and I look and I go, look at that. Right over my garage, I see the comet. We never had to leave the house, but we drove all around town looking for it. So I went upstairs to the family that were getting ready for bed, and I said, come on, guys, come downstairs and I'll show you the comet right in our own backyard.
It came to us.
There you go. Delivery.
That's why I couldn't find it. It was in your backyard.
It was in my backyard last night.
Comet hog.
Chris got the order in early.
Let's see. We've got Starcatcher said, yes, drove up to the boondocks in Michigan to look at it. I could only see it with my binoculars. I agree. Edward Wink. I don't know Edward, do I? That name is new to me.
It's familiar. I think he's been here before. But
Okay. The tail is difficult to see due to its orientation and amount of light on the horizon. That's true.
Yeah, good point.
And Catherine also has seen the comet. Yes to the comet, she says.
Yes to the comet.
My wife commented. Commented.
Yeah.
Commented.
Here's a pro tip from Steve Winter. It says the Mukilteo Beach is a great place. Saw it a week or more ago there. So there you go.
See, everybody went to the beach. There we go. So Edward's cache name is KC7DQM.
Well,
I'm
for contribution.
I am.
I was going to say 73 from W7ZND.
So there, they went down to the water to see it, and that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
My wife commented that, as you're looking at the stars, you expect them to move in one direction, right? You're used to the stars moving left to right to left, depends on your orientation. Yeah. And then the comet is moving in a different direction. She's like, as I'm watching it, she's like, no, it's going the wrong way. From the other side. Well, it is moving on its own, along with the Earth rotation.
How do they know which way we're going?
Nice. Neltra took her grandkids for a walk to Whiffin Spit. That's I think that's near Souk on Vancouver Island, and saw it there. And walked home, had a clear view coming in the driveway. Nice. And Geo Travelers,
you don't have to leave.
Geo Travelers had it in her backyard. So it seems, Jim, everybody seems to get a shot at it except you. I don't know.
Okay. I did go out and watch the ISS fly over the other night. So
nice. Genius says, I've seen some awesome photos of Neowise at Logan Pass Glacier National Park with northern lights.
Ooh.
Wow, that would be spectacular to see. And he says no, he didn't see it there, but he's seen great photos of it there.
I downloaded the app Star Walk, which will put constellations on your phone, and then as you move your phone, it shows you what should be behind it. And
Yeah,
one
play
of the
with those.
options is to turn the comet on to show where the comet
Oh,
should be.
neat.
Well, turn it on so people can see it.
Oh, okay. I saw it and I turned it off. I was done.
That's the problem.
By the way, to you, Wits End.
Yeah, those are great apps to have.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Thank you.
Sorry, Jesse?
Oh, those are great to have when you go to like dark skies places when you can have optimal star viewing. So, those like Death Valley or something like that. We spent lots of the night looking around, like seeing constellations we'd never seen before.
Exactly.
Super cool.
Yeah, and I like the ones that you can do it in like red on black so you don't destroy your night vision.
That's smart. Yeah.
I don't know the constellations well. I think I should, but I never do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's a few of them that I get mixed up. So
Yeah, I can. There are a handful I can pick out every time, but not a lot of them.
absolutely.
I guess I'm not creative enough to see the animals in the stars there.
The fault in your stars.
That's the fault. The fault in
Thanks.
somebody else's stars if they saw that.
Thanks, Mr. Green.
They didn't have TV or anything else to watch. They just lay back and go, "What does that look like to you?" They look at clouds during the day and stars at night.
And they're like, "Well, that's definitely a bear. That's a bear."
Well, I'm just really hoping Hank Green will come on the podcast next. That's all.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. The fault's in his stars.
that's right.
For not joining us on the podcast. Yeah. Another
It's practically in the Northwest, as in Montana.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Another FATAS on a different topic, but Brian Lang shares he's got only 31 more caches to go to complete the 149 geocache Gold Country Geo Tour.
Wow.
So, congrats, Brian Lang. I know he was working hard on it. Yeah, he said this past week he found another 24 in that series.
Good
Oh,
caching up there.
Yeah.
Now he's only got like 8 million kilometers to drive to go get those last ones, right?
Yep. Well, we're looking at having Marcy from Gold Country back on the podcast again sometime soon, so we'll keep you guys posted on that.
Well, and speaking of Bri Lang, I don't know if you know anything about it, but here's a little something. Will it play?
Oh, do
Go
tell.
Bryling. Go Bryling. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
There you go.
That's an old one.
Yeah, I just saw that and I was like, oh, it's Bri Lang's birthday.
Yeah, almost. There you go. So there's happy birthday, Brian Lang. There's your early birthday present. Play it again, Chris.
Oh, I just closed.
Oh,
I can't.
Never mind.
No, one and done. That's all I get.
That's it. Okay. Oh, too funny. All right.
Oh, Landsharks asked if there was a country souvenir released this month. And do you know who knows that?
Who?
Forest Ghost.
And
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah,
Well, that's an
Tunisia.
interesting one.
That's where Star Wars was filmed.
Some of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Fun
For
fact.
for Tatooine.
Tatooinesia.
That just rolls off the tongue,
As
doesn't
I like to call it.
I-
Oh,
3 days to his birthday.
birthday.
It's my
Oh.
wife's birthday today, by the way.
Yes,
Oh.
it is.
Well,
Yeah.
happy birthday to your wife. Wishing her the best. All right. Well,
Folks.
do we get through everything? What do you think?
I think we did.
All right.
We have had great fun tonight.
We have.
I want you all to go out and see the comet. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.